Hi children, today we are going to do power sharing in political science. Last year we have studied about democracy and all the important features of democracy. The most important feature is equality, sharing of power among legislature, executive and judiciary in the design of democracy. Here we are going to study about power sharing from two stories, one from Belgium and the other from Sri Lanka. Belgium, it's a very small country in Europe, smaller in area than the state of Haryana. It has borders with Netherlands, France and Germany. The ethnic composition of the small country is very complex. In the Flemish region, 59% of the people speak Dutch language, 40% of the people speak French language who live in Wallonia region, and 1% speak German. When we compare it with the capital city, Brussels, 80% of the people speak French language and 20% of the people speak Dutch language. The minority French-speaking community is relatively rich and powerful, whereas the Dutch-speaking community, they had got education very much later, and also the benefit of economic development was very much later. This led to tension between the Dutch-speaking and the French-speaking communities during 1950s and 1960s. The next story is about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island nation, few kilometers south coast of Tamil Nadu. The total population is about 2 crore people. It has a diverse population. 74% of the people speak Sinhala, 18% of the people are Tamil. In Tamil, two subgroups are there. Tamil native, 13%. The people of Sri Lankan Tamils. The rest from India. Sri Lankan Tamils in northeast part of Sri Lanka, and most of the Sinhalas are Buddhist people, and the Tamils are Hindus or Muslims, and 7% of the people are Christians. Now we have to see how they tried to solve the problem and how they shared the power. Now let us see majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. So now let us see how majoritarianism was followed in Sri Lanka. Before going to the lesson, we have to see what is majoritarianism. That is, majority community should be able to rule a country without giving any importance to the minority. That is what majoritarianism means. Now Sri Lanka, it became independent in 1948 and it adopted a democratic government. But the Sinhala community, they wanted to follow majoritarianism and they wanted to dominate the country. For this, in 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language. Thus, they did not give any importance to Tamil people. So, you know that how the minority community will be feeling. And also, they decided to give more preference to the Sinhala community for job opportunities, especially in the university and also government jobs. So, this aggravated the problem among the minority. And we have already heard about the various problems in Sri Lanka. This denied a lot of opportunities for the Tamil people. They were being severely discriminated, and as a result, it led to the civil wars. So the Sri Lankan Tamils, they launched parties and struggles in order to get recognition for Tamil people. Or to get autonomy or equal opportunity in education and jobs. But their demands was not recognized, and finally it led to a civil war between the two communities, which was very disastrous and many thousands of people died. I hope you have understood about how majoritarianism was adopted in Sri Lanka, and here I have noted all the most important points which we have to study. Next, we will move on to accommodation in Belgium. The Belgium leaders, they took a totally different decision, or they decided to share the power in a very different manner. They wanted to give recognition for all the regional differences and also the cultural diversities. They worked on the constitution. It was amended 4 times in 1970 and 1993. And this enabled them to give recognition to all the different language groups. And it helped them to live in the same country without any problem. They could live in the same country in a very peaceful manner. Now let us see what were the decisions taken by Belgian leaders. First one, the constitution gave importance to the Dutch and French speaking ministers. Every Dutch and French speaking ministers had equal opportunity in the central government. If there were any special laws, it has to be supported by the majority of the members from each linguistic group. I hope you are following. So they are giving importance to both the groups. The second point is, many of the powers of the central government was given to the state government. So the state government did not feel that they were subordinate or lesser than the central government. And the third point is, Brussels had a separate government in which both the communities have equal representation. The most important thing about Belgium is, apart from a central government and state government, they had a third one which is known as the community government. According to this, the community government, the people belonging to different languages were there. Everyone was given importance. If they had to take any decision regarding the cultural and educational and language related issues, all of them could participate and take a better decision. So this is the way they gave importance to all the religious group or different languages. So it was a very great thing which Belgium followed, and they were supported and they were appreciated by all the other countries for taking such a good decision. Let us see so far what we have done under power sharing. We had seen about Belgium and what were the different composition of population, and also about Sri Lanka, how the two major groups were Sinhala and Tamil, and under that they gave importance to majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, which resulted in civil war. And whereas in Belgium, though there were many different groups as Dutch, French, German, they took a very good decision and they solved the problem very easily. Till now, there was no problem in ruling the country. I hope you have understood. We'll be continuing the next part in the next session.